Yeah. So in the QA, question will be similar to a practice and grade assignment question. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to release the mock test for
Your
quiz one.
voice is a bit low.
Hello. Now it's okay.
Still the same.
Oh, okay. Hello. Hello. Now it is fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great.
So this is the revision session or
No, this is SQL practice session. So whatever we have covered in the week 2 and week 3 SQL command, so that we are going to cover today.
okay.
It's a combined week 2 and week 3 SQL session.
Okay, sir. So mock will be released tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll release the mock test tomorrow along with the revision slides.
Okay, sir.
No, it is not a time mock. We'll release it tomorrow. You can attempt anytime. So we'll have revision session on Saturday. So till then you can attempt the mock test and we'll discuss the mock question in the revision session. That is on Saturday.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
On Saturday, 4th of June.
Yes. Now Saturday live session 9 to 11.
Haven't received any invite as of now. Will it come later? For Saturday, there is no invite.
The calendar it is not scheduled. Let me check.
No, it is not scheduled.
Oh, okay, it is on Thursday. Revision session for quiz 1, 6 to 8. Sorry. Yeah.
6 to 8. Okay, fine.
On Thursday. Yeah.
Fine. Then it's okay.
Okay, so I think we can start the session. Yeah. So today we are going to cover the week 2 and week 3 SQL commands, so that are covered in the lectures. So let's go to EGIT. Yeah. So is this visible? PG admin screen. Hello, anyone can confirm?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's create one new database. So say practice session. Okay, so as we all know that database contain multiple data.
Sorry to interrupt. Just one question before you get into this. There is nothing that will come from a reflection assessment perspective in this particular week or the next week, right? Reflection assignment.
No. As of now,
there will not be anything. Yeah, fine. Okay.
We'll let you know in advance if you are planning for that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have created one database by SQL practice session. Yeah, here it is. Here you can see the query tool. Now, since the database consists of multiple tables and relationship among them, so we'll start with simply creating one table. So for creating table, you can simply use create table and say table name. Okay, so I can create table name, say players, having the attribute, say players having the attribute name, say player ID, that is PID, and its data type may be varchar. Okay, that is 10, size 10. Then player name having data type varchar, say name, say points having data type integer. Okay, so suppose if I want to make this PID as a primary key of this particular player's table, so how to make that PID as a primary key? Yes, anyone?
Primary key bracket with
Sorry?
PID. Primary key and PID.
Yeah, either I can simply type primary key here after the data type of PID, or at the last I can take primary key, then in bracket that particular attribute name, that is PID. Okay, so both the will work. So I will simply write primary key here. Now I will just select it. Click on the run button. You can see table has been created. Okay. Now I will create one more table. Say create table sports having sport ID. Say varchar, that is 10. Say name, that is varchar, it's also 10. And say I want to add the player ID in the sport table. Okay, so that is PID, that is varchar 10, and I want to make this PID as a foreign key referencing to this particular table players. So how should I make it? PID as a foreign key of particular table players. Yes, anyone? I want to make this PID as a foreign key of this players table. How should I do the reference? Yes, anyone?
So foreign key PID references players PID.
Foreign key, I have to mention the attribute PID.
References
References
players
players
PID.
bracket PID, right? Yeah. So I will simply select and click on this. What happened?
So this is the syntax of the foreign key.
Yes.
This is syntax of the foreign key.
Yeah, I want to make this PID as a references to players ID from PID. You can see table has been created. So now this PID of the sports table is taking the reference on PID from the players table. Okay. Now I will copy this command simply. I will create one more table, say sports one. Everything is same, all the attribute and the player ID, but here I am just writing on delete cascade. Yes, anyone can tell me what is the use of this on delete cascade?
This is integrity constraint.
Yeah, it is a constraint.
When delete operation will be done, then when delete operation will be done,
say suppose I add one insert one row in the players table and its corresponding reference row to the sports table. Now if I want to delete that particular row, so can I delete that row? Let's try out that. Insert into players, say values, say PID, say P001, name, yes, name, say Piyush, say point, say 10. Okay, I will simply create this one. Yes, okay. I will again create two. So Ravi, say 9. Okay. Now I have inserted two rows into the players table. Let's see. Select star from players. Yeah, here we have inserted two rows in the players table. Now, if I want to insert a row, say insert into sports values, say sport ID, say S001, cricket, and then PID. So can I mention PID here as P003 or not? What if I do this? It will give me an error or what? Can I insert this record? Because this PID is taking the reference from this players table, right? So if I want to insert this, it will throw an error. Insert object on table sport voided foreign key constraint, right? Because this PID in this sports table is taking the reference from the player's ID, right? So first I have to add the record for this particular PID in the players table. Then I can add the record in the sports table. So if I say that is P001, because we already added one record in the players table, here you can see. Now I can add that record, right? Insert 01, right? So now let's
So
insert
what if I keep a null?
here.
Yeah.
It will allow. Here we have not allowed given any constraint to that, right? So it will allow. So let's start from sports, right? So let's start from sports. Here you can say it will give the null, right? Say suppose instead here if I mention not null, then it will not allow us to insert that record. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So let's say we'll add not null here. Okay, and here also not null. Let's say this is sports 2. Okay. Now same record I'm going to add in the.
Sir, where is this table is saved in the database?
Here you can see inside the schemas public. Here you can see tables, right? Players, sports 2.
Players, where is it?
You can see on the left hand side, right? Inside the schemas tables, you can see players, sports 2. I have created 3 tables, right? Now.
Okay. Oh, this table will be created in the table.
Yeah.
Okay. And how we can see this table?
Yes.
How to view this table, data of this table?
Yeah. Say suppose if I insert this record, right? So you can simply select star from players. Like if you want to view all the records, it will give us the record. Or here you can go, just right click on the players. You can see view, edit data, all rows. So in the next step, it will give in this table, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so best way to view the table is select star from players, right? It is SQL query to view all the data of the.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Fine. Thank you.
Now I want to insert this record sports 2 here. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Select star from sports 2, right? So I have inserted one record here, S001. Now I want to delete this record, okay, from this players table. Okay, so first we'll see. Okay, yeah, here you can see I want to delete this record. Okay, no, we have to add one more record in the sports in the players table. Let's see, because it will take the constant from sports table also, right? Okay, so we have added B002. Say 002 So football. Let's run this. Yeah. So in the players table, we have two record, two player ID, huge and points, and here in the sports table, we have two record having from this particular PID. Right. Now I want to delete this record. Delete. What is the syntax for deleting any particular row? So suppose I want to delete this record, this one, from the sports table. Yes, anyone?
Which one we want to delete, sir?
This first record from the sports table.
Okay, the delete
Hmm?
S001.
No, it will not. It's not a. What is the correct syntax?
Okay, SID. Delete SID.
Delete from players where SID
SID is equal to S001.
0, 1. So column SID does not exist. What happened? The sports players table. We want to delete from.
PID.
Sorry.
Sports, right.
Yeah.
Sir, here on delete cascade, what effect it could have made?
Yes, yes, I'm coming to that only. Okay, we have not added the players ID here. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 001. Operation sport does not exist. Insert sports 2. So sports 2. Sports 1. Yeah. So I want to delete this particular record from players table. So delete from players where PID equals to P001. Okay. Now if I want to delete this, it will throw an error because update or delete on the players table violate foreign key constraint, because we have given the reference players PID to the sports table, right? And we have not mentioned on delete cascade on this table, particular sports table, right? We have not mentioned on delete cascade on this particular sports table, but in the sports 2 we have mentioned on delete cascade. Now if you see the record sports 2, I have added this ID, right? P001 and P002. I cannot delete this record P001 because it is there in the sports table. Here you can see, right? Now suppose if I change to P002, now what will happen? Can I delete this? You can see that one row got deleted. Now if we see the players table, here you can see only one record. Now if you see the sports 2 table, here you can see that one more record having the PID also got deleted. So what on delete cascade will do, suppose if I want to delete any particular record from the players table, it will automatically delete its corresponding record from the sports 2 table also, right? But if you have not mentioned it, that constraint here, it will not allow us to delete that particular record. So for that, first we need to delete the record from this sports table, and then we can delete that record from the players table.
One more, sir. What? This is the effect of this cascade.
Yeah. So initially we try to delete record having PID P001, right? It is not allowing us to delete that particular record because it is violating the foreign key constraint, right? Because here we have not mentioned on delete cascade on the sports table.
Which one is foreign key, sir? Foreign key is PID.
Yeah, foreign key is PID here. You can see, right?
Yeah.
In sports 2, both are the same table. Only difference is that on delete cascade we have used in the sports 2 table, right?
Now in a sports 2 table,
Yes.
cascade effect will take effect only.
Yeah. So when I try to delete any particular record from the players table, which is having corresponding reference in the sports 2 table, so record from the players table.
How it is referenced? Okay, player. because because foreign key has the reference of player's PID. That's why cascade effect will affect only when we delete from the players. Sports 2 will be active with the cascade effect. Is it so?
Yeah. So say suppose here we have the player's ID P002, and in the sports 2 table we have player's ID P002. So if you delete the record of that player ID P002 from the players table, it will automatically delete that particular record from the sports 2 table also. Just taking the reference from this players table. This is what on-delete cascade will do.
Okay. If you want to delete from the sports only.
No. Yeah. So first, if I want it only from the sports table, then I can delete it, right? But see here, you can see let's start from sport. Here having the record P001 ID, right?
Okay.
So I cannot delete this record because it is taking the reference, right? Because we have not mentioned on delete cascade on this sports table.
That's why it is not having on delete cascade, but still it is not being deleted.
No, I am deleting record from the players table, from the parents table, right?
Suppose you want to delete from the sports table, then it will be deleted.
In sports table we can delete. Yeah.
Okay.
If I not given any on delete cascade here, so first I have to delete the record from the sports table. Sports where PID equals to this. Here you can see delete record has been deleted. Now I can delete that record from the players table because in the sports table that particular record is not there. See.
Okay. Fine, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
So this is the difference.
And this cascade effect only work when foreign key is referenced. Suppose name after the name we add on delete cascade. In between the variable name varchar 10.
No, for that you have to make that name. You have to take the reference from the other table, right? You have to make the foreign key, right? That is what cascading effect is.
Okay. This constraint will work only when the references has been made to that table, right?
Yeah, foreign key.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So any doubt in this concept? Anyone?
The cascade will work only for the reference, not other work is connected to this cascade type. Only for this references, right?
Yeah, only for this PID.
Okay. No, not in particular case. In general syntax, this on delete cascade will work only when some foreign key has the reference of that table. Is it so?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So that's it. So I hope you understand how to create a table, how to give the reference, how to give the foreign key, and how to insert a record in a particular table. Okay. Now we'll move on to different types of joins. So simply I will create, insert a record in the sports. Okay, first I have to insert into players. Right? Players name. And points is I'm inserting 4 record in the players table. Okay, let's insert this record. Yeah, now I will insert the record in insert into sports. Insert into sports values. Say SID is S001 and PID is 001. 002. Okay. Now, if I want to perform the cross product between these two table, players and sport, how should I do that? Like any query for that? Yes, anyone? What is syntax for that? I want to perform the cross product between sports and the players table.
From the players to sport.
Players, we can simply
Cross join.
cross join sports, right?
Yes, sir.
So what it will do? It will give me the combination of all records with all the records from the sports table. But basically, it is a multiplication of the matrix, right? So here you have 4 records in the players table. In the sports table, we have 2 records, so we'll get 8 records, right? Total. Here you can see total 8 records, right? Or another way to do the cross product is simply you can mention players, comma, sports. This will also work. Here you can see 8 records, right? Yeah, so this is a simple cross join.
Both statements are same, no sir?
Yeah, both the statements are same. Yeah, the syntax are different.
Sir,
First one is implicit. Which one is implicit? First one.
Yeah, first one you are mentioning cross join, and here also by default it will perform the cross join only. Players, comma.
Yes, sir. In lecture side, one is implicit, another one is explicit. So which one is implicit, and what do you mean by this implicit?
Like here we are not mentioning any type of join, right? So by default it will perform the cross product between the tables. And here we are specifying the which type of join is we have to perform. That is we are mentioning it, right? So this one.
Okay, if you are having some SQL statement, then it will be implicit. We can say it is implicit. When it is directly a join, then it is explicit. Is it so?
No, we have to mention cross join, then it is explicit. Or if you are not mentioned, then it is implicit, right?
Then implicit.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now, what if I want to perform natural join between these two tables? Natural join will work here in this case. What is the syntax for that natural join?
Some key should be common. Then it is a natural join, and the duplicacy will be removed.
Yeah, some attribute should be common between two tables, right?
Yeah, attribute should be common but in the resultant table, duplicates will be removed. Is it so?
Yeah, duplicate that attribute name will be only repeated once. Duplicate record will be duplicate
not record, not attribute. Duplicate attribute column, duplicate column will be removed.
Yeah, not removed. It will just reflect once in the table, resultant table.
Once it will be once.
Yeah. So if I want to perform a natural join here, what will happen? Yes, anyone?
there will be only one PID.
The PID will be one column of the PID will be removed.
No. Can I perform natural join here between these two tables? Is there a common attribute?
Yes, sir. PID.
Yeah, PID is the common.
Name is also common, right?
Yeah.
But this name is from player's name and this name is for sports.
Yeah, we cannot do that because only one attribute should be in common, not more than one, right?
No, more than one can be also common, but here the name is different, right? If we perform, so it will try to match with the same name, but here the name is not same, right? So it will give us the empty set.
Yeah. Property is different, right?
So if I perform this inner join, say this is P and this is S on P dot PID equals to S dot PID. Now these two tables will get joined based on this particular condition. Here you can see, right? PID name point SID name PID. Natural join will not work because here the name of the players and the name of the sports are different, right? So it will try to match between this also. Like what it will do, it will also perform P dot name equals to S dot name, but that is not equal, right? It will simply give us the empty set.
Means the values of the attribute should also be equal for natural join.
Yeah, so when I mention this particular condition, s.pid equals to p.pid, so it will check which are the common PID values in the both the tables, and based on that it will perform the join condition.
And suppose we put it on in place of PID name.
Yeah, it will simply
what will
give us
happen?
the empty set, right? Because name is not common here.
So can we force natural join to use like match only specific attributes and ignore the others?
No, natural join automatically take the common attributes only. So for that you need to perform inner join only, like in this case.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, one more thing. I will create one more table, that is sports 3, and here let's make it s name, and here okay, I will make this table sports 3. This is s name, and this is say spid. Okay, so let's do this sports 3. PID references does not exist. What happened? Okay, SPID.
The capital S.
No, it will. It is not case sensitive. Sports 3. Now I want to insert this record in the. Sports
Sorry, did not understand. Why did it throw error earlier? Foreign key SPID.
Yeah. So here I have mentioned SPID, but here I have not changed it, right, in the foreign key. That's why it throws an error. So I need to change it here also, right? Foreign key. This thing.
Oh, okay, fine.
So I want to insert these two records now in the sports. Yeah. Now tell me, if I perform the natural join between players table and sports table, sports 3, sorry, what will happen? You can see there is no common attribute, right? PID is there, but here SPID is there.
Sports or sports 3, sir?
Sorry, sports 3.
Sports 3, no?
Yeah. What will happen? Because there is no common attribute, and still if you perform the natural join, what will happen in that case? Yes, anyone? It will throw an error, it will result an empty set or what?
So but PID is common, right?
No, PID is not common. Here I have mentioned SPID. I have changed the attribute name.
Okay, so we have two sports 3 tables. Like I can see there's another one below that line.
Just consider these two tables, players and sports.
Okay, okay, got it.
This is one of the famous interview questions. If there is no common attribute between two tables, and if we perform the natural join between those two tables, what will happen?
It should return empty.
So
So it should give the
Yes.
it will show empty.
Empty. Okay.
Yes.
Any other? Anyone?
so it
What
will
will
be a
happen?
normal cross join.
Yeah. So basically what it will do, it will perform the cross join between players and the sports table if there is no common attribute. Here you can see 8 rows. So basically, if there is no common attribute between the two tables, and if we perform the natural join, it will simply do the cross product between those two tables. So here we get the 8 rows, right? 4 into 2. So please note it, right?
So if we specify that SPID equal to PID, then it will work, right?
Yeah, then it will work. So for that, if I use inner join on, then players dot PID equals to sports 3 dot SPID. Now it will perform the join. Here you can see we get the same result, right? But if there is no common attribute, means the names are different, then it will simply perform the cross product between two tables. Right? Okay, I can also write it as players, just comma sports 3, and then where condition. Okay, still it will give me the same result. So what basically it is doing, it is performing the cross product between two tables and then applying the condition, right? So here we have two query, say players inner join sports on, right? So both the query will give us the same output, but which one is more efficient here? Anyone?
So the join one.
This one.
Yes.
Yeah. Any reason for that?
It won't have to go through all these.
Right. So suppose if players table have 10,000 record and sports table have 5,000 record, and it will simply it will cross product, right? 10,000 into 5,000, and then it will apply this condition, right? It will be a huge task. But if you simply perform an inner join, then based on this simple condition, it will join these two tables, right? So the performance point of view, we generally avoid cross join. Okay. Instead of using cross join and then where clause, just simply use inner join on clause, right? Hello, any doubt in this part? Cross join and natural join?
So where and on is used differently, where on cannot be used.
No, that is the syntax of joining two tables. Inner join on, and on which attribute we are joining that table. Okay, this is syntax, right? Here if you made where, it will throw an error.
Okay. Means on is only used for the inner join.
Yeah, inner join or right outer join or left outer join. If you are
Inner
using
join and outer join.
Yeah, if you are using the join between two tables. This is a basically syntax of that joining two tables. Table 1 join, table 2 on, and based on which condition we are joining, right? That is the.
And when is using used? Using also used, right?
Using is also used. So yeah. Instead of on, I can use using here, and inside the bracket the common attribute. Like instead of on, simply I can use using inside the bracket common attribute. But here there is no common attribute between these two tables, right? Players and the sports tree. I can do that with the sports table using PID as a common attribute, right? So just run this. Here you can see, right? But if I do the sports table, because PID is not common between both the table, right? So it will not work in that case, right?
Okay.
The one using clause does not exist in the right table. Yeah, PID. I can use this.
And where is the common? Where is the common PID in a sports?
Yeah, in sports table. Here
where is the sports table?
Select star from sports. Initially, we have created sports table, right? Here you can see SID name PID. In the sports tree, instead of PID, we have mentioned SPID, right? So we cannot use.
Okay. We changed it, right?
Yeah.
And the table will be saved in the table. Okay. So whatever tables we have created will remain in the
saved in the database. Yeah.
Okay. Last time also I saw how to corroborate this, where it is saved. Only 3 tables are there, players and this.
No. If you're creating this table, it will permanently save in the database unless you delete it, right, or drop that.
Okay.
So this is So one more thing, what is the difference between drop, delete, and truncate command? Yes, anyone?
What, sir?
Drop, delete, and truncate.
It drops the entire table.
Drop
the entire table.
So if I use drop, then table sports 3, it will drop the entire table, right? Yeah. Sports 3 will not exist. Now delete. If anyone?
It deletes specific tuples.
Yeah. If you want to delete any specific table, then you use the delete, as we have seen earlier. Now what is truncate? Yes, anyone? What truncate will do?
It deletes the data, but not the schema, I guess, of the table.
It deletes the data as well as the structure of a table, and then again creates the same structure of that particular table. Truncate table scores. Right? You can see all the records has been deleted, but the structure is maintained, right? In the case of drop, all the data as well as the structure will get deleted, right? It will drop from the database. But in the case of truncate, it will drop the entire table and it will again create the same table with this having the same attributes and all the constraints.
I mean that in the database, in case of drop, table will be removed.
Yeah, table will be completely removed. Yeah.
Okay. And in truncate, the table name will be there, but data records will not be there.
The table structure will be there, but the records will be
Okay.
different.
Okay. Okay.
The difference between truncate and drop.
So we can do the
So then truncate and delete does the same thing?
Delete is used to delete a particular record from the table by applying the condition.
so we can do that truncate task using delete. If we want to delete all the rows, then it will perform the same task as truncate. Is it?
If you want to delete, so delete from layers. So let's see if record is there or not. Yeah, delete from layers. I can mention a condition. Suppose if I want to delete this particular record, so where PID equals to P004. So only that record will get deleted.
Okay, so
And if you use a wildcard?
Wildcard
Delete.
operator, yes. The
Delete a star
like
from
operator.
player.
Like operator.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it will, if that satisfies this condition, it will simply delete that particular record. Whatever the condition you mention after where clause, if it is satisfying that particular condition, it will delete the record. Okay. And what if you didn't mention the where condition? What will happen if I just run delete from clears?
It should delete the table, right?
Suppose sir, you want to delete a value of the name which having the second last letter as U. Then what you will put?
Delete from clears where the name, like we have to use like operator, right?
Okay, name like where name like.
Where name like what you said, last letter is U.
Second last is U.
Second last letter is U, right?
The
percent, yes. Then U
hyphen
underscore,
U.
right? This is the second last letter, right? Underscore will be, it will take one letter, right?
Okay. Underscore is fixed, right.
Let's try.
Then what will happen? Please run it.
Yeah, simply select
One deleted.
yes.
And see the table.
You can see that record has been removed, right?
So if we take percent instead of underscore,
Here,
so then it will give error.
then it will delete also this Piyush and this PO also.
Okay, anything 0.
Yeah, because percentage will take any like from space to the end string, right?
Okay.
This will also be deleted because please
Yeah, both
run
the
it,
records
run
will
it.
be deleted. Yeah,
Both will be deleted.
yeah, both the records will get deleted.
But this is last one, sir. The last U is there.
No, but we have mentioned the percentage sign, na?
Percentage means if it is not there, then still it will be considered, right?
Yeah. Underscore
Okay.
means it will take only one character.
Yeah.
Percentage.
The number
means
of underscores is equal to the number of characters.
Yeah. Percentage will take. It will take the space also. 0 to n character.
Okay. 0 to n character, right?
So by this first record will also get deleted, right? Okay. Now let's discuss about this like
whether we can put here the whole structure like alternate. If alternate characters we are giving, then it will operate.
alternate means
The second odd one or even one. suppose second, fourth, and sixth,
Yes,
like
yes.
that, it will work.
It will work. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
You can try out. Yeah. So let us discuss few query. And let's say FLIS.
Piyush, just one question. Can we directly, I mean, commands are fine. Can we directly update the table also? I did it, but it wasn't getting saved. Anything that I might be doing wrong? For example, PE, I want to change it to PIYUSH in the table itself. Just, I mean, quickly, if I can do that, is it doable?
Yes, yes. So what do you want to do?
Piyush, PIYUSH.
Instead of in the first record.
In the second, it's double E, so I want to change it to I.
And you can simply use update command, update.
No, not through command. I'm just asking in the table. In the
You
table,
have to
how do I
update
do
that
it?
table. You have to update the particular table. Then only you can do that, right? Like how did you try? Update
I
command.
clicked on this where you have written Piyush, right?
No, 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 no. Here.
No, no, no. In the database, you cannot change directly in the table.
Here Postgres will allow, but I don't think. Let me check. Yes. Data has been modified, but not. So Darusha want to describe the changes.
If you
Here,
will click no, it will save.
Yeah. If you click on the save button, it will get saved. We can do that.
Normally in
This is not
databases, it's
recommended,
not
right?
allowed. There will be
Sorry?
security risk. Normally in the databases that you will work on, it's not allowed to change it like
Yeah,
that.
it's not allowed. This is just UG, just interface of PostgreSQL. That's why it's allowing.
The only way to go to the database is through the
To
SQL command.
update-
What
That's all.
were you saying about update? Can you please continue with the update command?
Yeah, yeah. What we have? Yes. So if you want to update the name of any player, and let's see the record first. Yeah. So simply, what is the syntax for update? Update, then table name. So what is the table name? It is players, right? Now set name equal to Piyush. Now, what is the condition? Where PID equals to P002, right? Let's run this command. It will get updated. So let's start from players.
Here, from is not required. Table name is not required.
Table name is there. Now update take players. That is table name. The syntax is like this: update.
Okay.
Then table under table name. Then set. You have to set the values and then apply the where condition. Okay. This is the syntax.
Okay. Okay. Update table name, set and where. Okay. Okay. Here, from is not required. Directly we can put the table. Syntax is there, right?
If I want to change the points, simply let set points.
Yeah, set points.
Yeah.
Is equal to 10.
Points equals to points minus 5, where PID equals to 0.2. So it will change the points, right? 10 minus.
No, here you use for points minus 5. Can we put directly?
Yeah, we can put directly.
10, we can. Okay, value. We can put values or equation or expression for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So suppose I want to give bonus mark to the student whose age is greater than 30. And what I can do, I can simply put where clause where age greater than 30 and points equal to point plus 5. That's it. So all the student who's having the age greater than 30, their points will get updated by 5, right? Like if I run this query.
Okay. Okay.
Here's just a simple 2 records, that's why I'm saying. But in general, we can apply any condition inside the where clause and you can set anything, right? And update the table. Okay, so any doubt in this update command? There's one more command, that is alter. Anyone alter? For what purpose we use alter table? Sorry, alter command.
What's the pardon?
Alter command.
Add an attribute.
Alter.
Or
Alter.
drop an attribute.
Alter we have not learned.
It is there in the slide. I think only one slide is
To add an attribute to the table.
Attribute, yeah, we can add or modify the attributes, right, in the table. So suppose we have players table, and if I want to add one more column in this players table, say PID name point, say I want to add age here, right? So how to add age in this existing table? Yes, anyone?
Alter table name,
Yes. Alter, then table name players,
then add
add
attribute name that we want to add. Then it's data type.
add age,
It's
data type int.
Yeah,
It will work.
it will.
Alter table players.
Yeah, enter table.
Yeah. So if I run this query, select star from players, you can see age table has been added, right? Now what if I want to update this null value? Say the age of PO is 25 and age of use is 26. How to do that? Simple update command, right? That we can do. Now, say suppose if I added table age here. Now what if I want to change the data type of this name? Say varchar to char only. Can we do that? Yes, anyone?
Sorry, could you repeat? What do you want to do?
If I want to change the data type of this particular name attribute, instead of varchar, I just want to add char here.
I think we will have to drop the attribute.
No, I can alter the table, right?
I don't recall going through the alter command in these 4 weeks. Anyone else can confirm?
Yeah. I have also not encountered with this alter command. That's why I am not getting.
I'm not sure though. Maybe, I mean, you can confirm, but I'm not sure.
In the lectures, I think alter has not come.
In the lecture, alter is not.
It's there in week 2.
Yeah.
Maybe in week 4, but
Please go ahead, Piyush. I mean,
it is
no
there.
problem. Continue. Let us
we'll learn.
continue and learn.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So suppose if I want to change the data
syntax
type
of the alter is, sir, write the syntax of the alter only. This one is what you have write. Alter table and add.
The syntax of the alter table will be alter, then
Alter.
table, then particular table name. Then what you want to do? If you want to add any particular table, you can simply use add, then that name of the particular attribute and the data type of that particular attribute. So I will add one more here, that is sports, having the data type varchar, having size 10. So I can simply run this. So one more. Okay, sorry, table name. No. Instead of table name, I have to write players, right? Yeah. So when if you see the record,
This sports is a attribute, no sir?
yeah, sports is the attribute. Here you can say I've added sports in the in this particular table, right? Now, if I want to drop this age from this particular table players, how to do that?
Okay.
Simple alter table instead
remove.
No, not remove. You have to use drop command here.
Drop.
Alter table players drop sports. Sorry, not sports, age. I want to remove age. Just run this part. And you can see again that so that age column has been removed from the database, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Say suppose instead of name, I want to rename it as players name. How to do that? Then alter table players, alter table, then table name. And simply you can use rename. And what is the column? Rename column. Column and then column name. Column name is name, and I want to rename it to players underscore name. Right? Alter table. Now let's see the players table again. Here you can see players underscore name. So update command is used to update a record in the table. And alter command is used if you want to modify or add any particular.
Now, what we have changed, sir? We have changed name to player's name.
Yeah. By using the alter table command. Alter table, then table's name, that is players, then rename column name to. So rename column, we have to rename this particular column. What is that column name? That is initially it was name, and we have to change name to players underscore name, right?
Okay, whenever we type this name, then the color changes. It means it is already existing in there. Is it so?
It is one of the keyword in the Postgres as well. I don't.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
No. Suppose in the place of this attribute, suppose the attribute name is system or something like that, which is not a keyword of the SQL. Then still color will change or not?
No. For keyword it will
points.
not.
Points. Suppose points. Column name points.
No. It will not.
Okay. Because that is a keyword only. In case of keywords only the color.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
got
can
it.
say rename column, like where.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, same as the last thing. Same if I want to change this players table name to say players table, say players underscore table. How to do that? Simply, same thing you can use, right? I want to rename this players table name to players underscore table. Yes, anyone?
What's the pardon?
I want to change this players table name as players underscore table. Then simply alter table, then table name, then rename to, and simply players underscore table, right? If I run this, the table name will get changed to players underscore table. Now, if I run this players table, select star from tables, it will show players does not exist, right? I have to do players underscore table. So I have simply renamed the table name here. So this is what alter command will do. Okay. So yeah, you can go to the slide. It is there in the slide, or you can simply go to the PostgreSQL documentation. It is there in the documentation also. Okay. So this is all about update and alter command. Yeah. So one more thing. Yeah. Important thing about the aggregate function. Okay. What are the aggregate function here? Does anyone can tell me? What are the aggregate functions in the SQL?
Sum.
Yeah, sum is there. Just 1 minute. I want to. I hope this points. It's not. Yeah, it's not having any data type. Any constraint is there. Select PID. Just players underscore name, and then sports. I am just simply inserting one record here having PID, players underscore name, and sports. I am not inserting the record in the points table. Okay. So just 1 second. And sports is cricket. Yeah. So let's see the players table. Select from players underscore table. Okay. Yeah. So here you can see in the points table there is 10, 5, and none. Okay. Now tell me what are the aggregate functions. So first that is sum, right? Select sum, then say points from players underscore table. So what will be this output of this?
15.
15.
Right. Now if I take the average of this, what will be the output? Yes, anyone? This is the table. If I take
5.
5. Okay. Any other student? What will be the average?
7.5.
7.5. Why?
So it takes the average of 10 and 10 and 5.
Yeah, but why it's ignore this null value? Why did it count? Why didn't it count this particular?
How to add null value?
Yeah, so by default, all the aggregate function will not consider the null values. Okay, so this is one important note.
Okay.
By default, all the aggregate function will not count null values. Okay. Here you can see if we do the average, 10 plus 5 divided by 2, that is 7.5. But one important thing, if I just count points, what will be the output?
3.
Huh?
3.
Why 3?
3.
2 only, no? Because aggregate function will not count the null values.
Okay. It
will
when the value of the points is null, then it will be not used for the aggregate function. Is it so?
Inside the aggregate function, we are using the aggregate function here: count, sum, average, maximum, minimum, right?
Only these 4 functions are aggregate function, or other than these also?
Aggregate are max, minimum, count,
max, min,
sum, average. Yeah, these 5 functions are there. Any other?
Only these 5 are right.
Yes.
Okay.
So select count points from players table. So aggregate function will not consider the null values. But what if I do count star here? Now what will be the output? Yes, anyone?
Count all. Yeah, then it will be 3.
Yeah, and in this case it will be 3, right? Because we are counting this, but how many records are there? Count star, right? So this is whole record is not null, right? Only this particular field of the points attribute is null, right? So count star will give us the 3 output, but count points will give us 2, right?
Yeah. When attribute name is there, then we will consider null.
Yeah. So the aggregate function will not count the null values. That's the thing. Okay, any doubt in this part?
Sir, one thing. I ask one question. Last time also, the statements for the SQL commands we are running, whether we can save this in the SQL itself. Some practice we are doing, but again and again we have to do what we have done previously. But when we shut down this,
we cannot save this query, but we can create a view of this particular query. So suppose we have not more complex query, and if I want to use that same query every day for getting some data, right, from a database, so I can simply create one view and store the output of this particular query in that view.
No, I'm not telling that one, sir. I'm telling this. Suppose
sir, I want to add something. Escape about. You can simply save the save button. You can simply click the save and you can save whole the query. Save, right? Yeah.
Okay, where it is?
No. Whatever I am typing in this query editor, it can be saved by using this save button.
Okay, what I am telling is this one. You can save it in a file. Okay.
Yeah.
In a SQL file. In a SQL file, you can save.
And where it will be saved when you want to open it?
You can put your location, desktop or somewhere else. You can change your location.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Got it.
You cannot save this particular query for running the same query in database, right? You can simply save it as a file. Okay, so that's about the aggregate function. Joins, okay, cross join, natural join, update, alter, aggregate function. Okay. Let's go to the group by order by class. Okay, so I'm using FLIS table now. FLIS database, sorry. Now this is a ER diagram of this particular EID. Public memory store. Is this visible? Names?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So I want to find out the name of youngest player here. How to find out that? You can see the players table, right? This one. I want to find out the name of a youngest player. Date of birth is given. Name is also given, right?
Date of birth.
How to do that? So let's start from I want to find out the date of birth of a youngest player. So simply I can use order by here, right?
Sir, we can select the name order by DOB limit 1.
Yes. Date of birth from players order by date of DOB. What it will do if we perform the order by DOB? So we have not mentioned in ascending or descending order, right?
It will be
Descending order.
Descending.
No, by default, it will perform the order by clause in ascending order, right?
Yeah.
If you are not mentioned any descending here, so by default, it will perform. It will sort the player's name and date of birth in the ascending order. Okay, so we have to mention explicitly descending, and you can see slope 2005 well system, right? Now I just want this flow, then limit 1, right? You can see slope and his date of birth is youngest player. Now, what if I want
What is this limit 1 means?
only one record? Yeah, top one record.
Suppose we want 2, then it will be 1, 2, 3 like that.
Limit 2. Yeah. So first 2 record.
Okay.
Limit 3. Okay.
Any other SQL other than this limit and descending order without making the order? Can we do this?
Yeah, so
by
then
minimum,
you can use subquery for that. Yeah, you can use subquery for that. You have to, but this one is better.
You're sorry to interrupt. I mean, we need to understand what you are explaining, and the other questions we need to try at our end.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this will not end.
Yes. So now I want.
I mean, there can be enough permutation and combination to everything that you are explaining. And this particular session is not that we keep asking and you keep practicing that particular thing. We need to understand and revise and finish it off.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going command by command, so you can practice it, right? I'm just explaining.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it to you, but for everything that you are explaining, if there will be if and buts, and we will be sitting over here and will not be able to complete what you are supposed to do.
Right. Yeah, it will take more time. Yeah. Yes, I will explain the whole SQL command, but you can try out. Okay, you can practice it more about if you want.
And it disturbs our flow in terms of what you are explaining.
So in the sequence, what I have covered about create table, then insert, then about the update and alter command, then about aggregate function. Okay. So now I want to discuss about order by limit and offset. Okay. So that's what I'm discussing right now. So okay. So suppose if I want the record like youngest there, I can introduce order by date of birth and limit 3. Now what if I want the third youngest player name? Is anyone? So for that I can simply use limit 1 but offset. Now what offset will do, if I mention offset 2, so it will start from the third one. So it will skip the first 2 rows and it will start from the third one. Okay. Now let's run this command. You can see, right? Saving. So this is the function of offset. If you want to skip some initial record, it will simply you can use offset 2 or offset 3, right? What it will do, it will give me the 4th record, right? If I simply run this command, you can see 4th record, right? Offset 3. So if I want the fourth youngest player, simply you can use limit 1 and offset 3. If I want the list of the players, which is like after the first 3 players, simply you can use like top 10 player after the first 3. You can use simply 10, and it will give me the record after third player, right? This is a simple use of limit and offset command. Okay, any doubt in this part, limit and offset?
In which
just
week
once
is
again,
this,
if you don't mind, please.
Yes.
Just once again, if you can explain it. Didn't get it.
Yeah. Okay. So what limit will do? Limit, it will display the number of records, right? If I mention say 5, it will display the first 5 records. And what offset will do? It will skip the first 3 records and then it will display the next 5 records. So it will skip the first 3 records. Let me see the table. So you can see Shlok, Bhaskar, and Kelvin, right? Kevin, right? So offset 3, what will do? It will skip the first 3 records and then it will fetch the 5 record, limit 5, right? After the third one.
Okay, thanks. Got it.
So yes.
Sir, in which week we have learned this limit and offset? Is it in 5?
It is no, it is in week 3 only. Week 3. Week 2, yeah.
I think anybody has encountered this limit and offset in the week 3?
Yes, you can check the slide. Yeah.
Escape. Yeah. So you have, I think you have so top clause. I go ahead. Top clause. So in Oracle top clause, but in Postgres limit clause, same things.
No, I'm asking whether this SQL query has been in the lecture or somewhere in the week 3 or 4.
In the week 3, you can check. It is top command is there, like select top 5 command. But in the Postgres, that top command will not work. Instead of top command, we use the limit command.
Okay.
So we have discussed about the order by clause, limit, and offset command. Okay. Now let's discuss about the group by command. Okay. Okay, players table is there and teams table. Where is teams table? Yeah. So I want to find out the number of players in each team. How to do that? Is anyone? Write an SQL query to find out the number of players in each team. Display team ID, team name, and number of players in each team. Yes, anyone? I will write it down here.
Team ID, team name, and then count name of players.
Fine. Yes, you want to see this? Yeah. I simply want the number of players playing in each team. I want to display team ID, name, and number of players in each team. How to do that?
Count the number of players. Count the name of the player.
No. Team ID, team name, and the number of players in each team. How to do that?
Team ID, team name, and group by team ID. Then count player name.
Let's see. Let's start from yes. And then select start from in the players table we have player ID, name, date of birth, jersey number, and team ID. In the teams table we have team underscore ID, name, city, playground, jersey home color, jersey away color. So I want team ID, team name, and number of players in each team. How to do that? Yes, anyone? This is similar to your SQL practice assignment, right? Similar question. Yes, anyone? Here we have to use group by clause. So one more hint. Anyone?
So can we do
Group by players
select
and count the players.
Group by players or group by team?
Group by
team.
team.
group by team name?
T dot underscore ID, T dot name, and simply we can count players underscore ID. What is the attribute? Player ID, right? So player ID from. I need to join these two tables, right? This players and teams name.
Yeah, players and team.
So what type of join we have to use here?
It is the inner join, team ID.
Teams team, inner join, players, T on T dot. What is the common attribute here? On which condition we have to join? Here you can see what is the foreign key here? Team ID, right?
Team ID.
Team ID.
Because if we perform the natural join here, then what happens in this case? It will give us an empty set, right? Because name is there in the players table and name is also there in the teams table, right? But both the names are not the same thing, right? It will give us the empty set. So better to perform inner join on T dot team underscore ID equal to T dot team underscore ID. Now what I have to do? We have joined these two tables now. Which condition we have to apply?
Group by team ID.
Group by team name.
Group by team name.
Team name.
It will work.
Team ID or team name, anything will.
Yeah, it will do the same, but it will work. If I just run this query, or it will throw an error. What will happen? Yes, anyone? Let's try to run this. Column T underscore team ID must appear in the group by clause or to be used in aggregate function. So one more important thing, if you are using the group by clause, either in the select clause you have to use the aggregate function like we have used count, or other attribute which must be there in the group by clause, right? So group by T dot name comma T dot team underscore ID. So let's see what will happen. Here you can see team ID, these are for black equals the number of players are 12, Thunders is 12, Amigos having 11 players, Haravali is having 12 players. Even if I skip this part, it will give us the same one, right? I have to delete this team ID. Here you can see, right? Black equals Rainbow, Amigos, Haravali, All Star. So this is the team name and the number of players in each team. Now what if I want the name of a team having number of players greater than 11? So what should be the condition here?
Having count player ID greater than 11.
Yeah.
So having count here. Can we use a where clause here?
No.
No.
Right? Because on aggregate function we cannot use where clause, and this having is applied on the group by after grouping only, right? Yeah. So any doubt in this part? Now one more thing. So suppose if I use the group by command on two attributes, so what will happen? What it will do? Like in this case, like team ID, team name, both are the same thing. Like for each team ID, there is a different team name. But what if there is for same team ID there is different like same team name, like different team ID, same team name? Like what will happen in that case? Are you getting my question?
No, once more, please.
If I use group inside, if I use two attributes inside the group by clause, what will happen? And it will group by first name or by team ID.
first by team ID.
Yeah, so here may not be a perfect example, but what it will do, first on the basis of name, it will perform the grouping, and after team name, it will perform, right? Or the combination of that.
Pardon, sir, please.
If I use to group by attribute here, what will happen?
The first t dot name will be grouped by t dot name, and the second will be team ID.
Team ID is a primary key here. Yes. Okay. Simply it will check for the combination of team name and team ID. Then based on that it will be right. Okay. Now, that I want to ask in the order by clause. Okay. Any doubt in this group by clause and having clause? Okay. Yeah, this is matches to it. So one more important thing. Let's start from matches. Yeah. Now order by host underscore team underscore score. Right. Here you can see we have arranged this particular record in the order host team score in the ascending order, right? Now what if I mention here guest team also? Guest underscore team underscore score. Now what is happening here is anyone can tell me?
First it will
If I use two attribute name in the order by clause, what will happen?
First host name will be sorted, hosting score, and if there is any.
Hello.
It will order
First it
by
will-
first one, and then second one will be used as secondary ordering.
So first it will order based on the host team score.
Yeah.
0, 1, 1, 1. And once it is ordered in the host team score, then based on the guest team score, again it will order in the ascending order. Because here you can see 1, 1, right? 1, 1, 1. Now in here you can see 1, 2, 2 in the ascending order. Now if I just change into descending order only for this guest team score, now what will happen? Here you can see 1, 1, 1, but here it is 2, 2, 2, right? Previously it was in ascending order, so first it order in the host team underscore score, and then order by guest team underscore score, right? Here you can see in the descending order based on this particular order. Okay, this is simple.
We can interchange it also. First one is descending and second one is ascending.
Yes, we can do that also. First one is ascending.
No, descending.
Descending.
First one descending.
First one is descending.
Yeah.
Second one is ascending.
And nothing here. Then it will take ascending.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can try out. Yeah. Here you can see.
Okay. Ascending.
Okay, so order by clause. Okay.
No, ascending is second one is not ascending, sir.
No. Based on first, it will order based on the host team score, right? Descending order. 5, 5, 4.
Okay.
Now this 5, 5, 5 among these they will perform in the ascending order. So 0, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Consider these three tuples only. Based
Okay.
on this tuple to order by in the ascending order.
Yeah.
So that's it. Okay. So
I didn't get this one. Will you please repeat once?
Yeah. So suppose if I use two attributes in the order by clause, so first it will order what you have mentioned in the first thing, like in the order by host team score. So first this matches table will be ordered in the host team score, like in the descending order 5, 5, 5. Once it is ordered by in the host team underscore score in descending order, then it will order in the ascending order because you have not mentioned, so by default it is ascending order. So according to the guest team score, it will order in the ascending order, right? So here you can see 5, 5, 5. Now 0, 4, 5. If I just change it to descending order, so instead of 0, 4, 5, it will be 5, 4, 0. Here you can see 5, 4, 0, right? So first it will perform the order clause on this attribute, and then based on this attribute, it will perform the order by clause on this guest team score, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So I think I have covered most of the things. Like simple, like and not like you can practice. Now one more important topic is about the views. Anyone have watched the week 3 lecture and what are the views? Yes, anyone can tell me?
Views, sir.
Views.
Yes.
What is view? What are the purpose of why we are using this views?
Create view.
Yes, yes. What is the purpose of using the views?
With a virtual table, just for taking the view of
to
that.
hide certain information which we do not want to share with every user.
So what basically simple views will do? It will save the output of any particular query. So suppose if I simply select star from teams, join players T on T dot underscore ID equal to T dot T underscore ID. Right? And jersey underscore underscore color equal to red. Right? Now, say suppose I want to use this particular query every day, or I want to present this record, present this table, output of this query to anyone. So what I can do, I can simply use the view to store this particular output of the query, right? So what is the syntax for that? Does anyone how to create a view?
What's the question, sir? What view?
How to create a view for this particular SQL command? I want to store the output of this query in the view.
Okay, create view.
Create view. Then you have to give some name. Say
as create view as create view
as view name. Then as is simple this select any query, right? So if I run this, what will happen?
The sentence is create view, the name of the view as, and select from where as.
The syntax of the create view is create view, then view name as, then your SQL query, right?
Yeah. As this query will be there, right? This will be inner query, right?
Column key might be specified more than once. So team ID is there. Okay, I just want team ID. Name. Team name. And then city. Okay. I just want to store this thing. Yes. So view has been created for this particular SQL query, right? So how to view how to check the view? So simply select star from that is view name, right? View underscore team. You can see the output of this select command is stored in this view, right? View underscore team. So if we run this command view underscore team, we will get the output of this particular query, right? You can simply apply the condition also here, like where name equals to RD, right? You can perform any SQL operation on this view. It is a temporary table. So what is okay? So one more concept is there of materialized view. What is the difference between views and materialized view? Does anyone?
If this select a star from V teams where name is equal to ID or something view is saved, then it is a materialized view.
Saved means how to say.
Set with is a table will be created.
Yeah. So if we once we create a view for this any particular SQL statement, it will create a temporary table, right? It will not work as a physical table. So
Yeah,
when
physical table. What I mean to the physical table is the materialized view.
Yeah, see, when we update this teams and players table, so this view will get automatically updated, right?
Yeah,
whenever we update any record in teams and players table, if we create this view, then this view table will get updated because it is simply running this SQL query again. But in the case of materialized view, unless you refresh this view, the views will be the same. It will work as a physical table only. Like I simply create the same materialized view for the same query. Simply you have to use materialized here before the views. Materialized view. I can give it as in one, right? And you can see 11 records are there, right? So
this materialized view is also not creating table in the database. It is just a view.
No, materialized view will be present physically in the database, right? A table. This record will be there. Unless you refresh this particular materialized view, the record will not get refreshed. Like if you update any record in teams and players table, and based on this condition, if you simply run select star from V teams, it will get updated. Like if I remove Adi from this table, right? Players table. So if I run this command, it will not give me any record. But in the case of materialized view, even if I remove this Adi from this table, and if I didn't refresh the materialized view, it will give me the record of the Adi, right?
Can you please repeat it?
See, the main difference between views and materialized view is, so suppose if I update anything in these two tables, like based on this particular query, say suppose I delete a record of this Adi from the table, right? So when I delete this record from the table and then I run this particular command, select star from V teams where name equals to Adi, it will not give me any record because simply we have deleted this from the original table in the case of view. But in the case of materialized view, even if we delete this record Adi from the parents table, it will be still there in the materialized view unless and until we refresh this particular view. Okay.
And how do we refresh? Like,
so Piyush, if we do not refresh in the first example, if we do not refresh the view, will it you have deleted Adi from the table? That's fine. Okay, but V teams will still have that or no? If we do not refresh it,
will not have the Adi record.
Even if we do not refresh.
Yeah, even if we do not refresh. That is dynamic. Views are dynamic. Materialized views is not dynamic.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So
materialized views are same as we have on delete cascade and on update cascade, like
no. That is different concept. Materialized view will create like physical table. Like it will not be dynamic as this normal view. Let's see the table, right?
Where it is created, sir? In the table, in this schema.
Here you can see the schema, right? Just refresh it.
Where is this materialized view in this schema?
Materialized view, here you can see materialized views.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it is there. Okay, fine. Thank you.
Let's try to delete this. Adi is there, right? Okay. Let me create. I think we have created this materialized view, right? Yeah, already created. So select star from Adi. Here you can see the record is there, but select that is view 1 Adi. Record is there. Now I will delete this record from the table. Delete from players.
Where name is equal to ID.
Delete from players where name equal to ID. Let's see. Yeah. Now let's see the rest of this record, whether it will work or not. Here you can see empty set, right? Because record has been deleted from the view also, right? Now let's run this materialized view. Here you can see the record of Adi is still there, right? In the case of materialized view, this is materialized view and this is normal view. Okay. Unless you refresh this materialized view, the record will be still there. And how to refresh it? Simply refresh materialized view, and view name is v_team1. Now I am refreshing this view, right? Refreshes materialized. Now let us see the record is there or not. Now you can see the record has been removed, right?
Okay, refresh is also a command, right?
Yeah, refresh is also a command. So we are refreshing this particular materialized view.
Yeah, we have not seen here. Okay, refresh. Thank you.
So this is the main difference between views and materialized view. Okay. Okay, so yeah, anything you want to ask, or subquery part we can go. If you have any doubt in this, any SQL command, just anyone, like any SQL command, DDL, DML, any command is there. If you didn't understand how to use or how to apply that thing. Anyone?
So can you tell about function and procedures?
Function and procedure.
Yeah.
Okay. So what can you tell me what is function and what is procedure? You have watched the lecture. Yes. Okay.
What was the question, sir?
What is function? What is procedure?
Function and procedures.
Okay, I will explain.
Yeah, Piyush sir, sir.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. So can anyone tell what is the function? Any function you know about the aggregate function, right?
No, function and procedure. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Everyone know about the aggregate function, right? That are also function. Like the aggregate function maximum returns the maximum amongst the column value, right? That is one functionality of the aggregate function. Aggregate function are built-in function. So as a developer, you all are developing in the future, suppose some function in the DBMS system. So how you create the function in the DBMS? So for that, you can use the create function or the create procedure also, right? So okay, let me give an example of that. You got idea about what is the function? And
yeah, so Pradeep, I think we are going to cover subquery part first, then we can go for that, right?
Okay, yeah.
It will take time if we are writing SQL query for that, right? Function.
Yeah.
So first we'll discuss about the subquery part, and then we can go for function and procedure. Okay? Is that
Yes,
okay?
sir. Yes, that's fine, sir.
Because we have planned the subquery part first. So, Subhendu, can you take them?
Yeah. So yeah. So let me share my screen. So my screen is visible, right? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
So yeah. So many students have doubt how to save the SQL query. So let me how to save the query. So you have to click just save files button. Then click it. Then name it like subquery or something. Then create it. It already saves. Suppose if you want to open this subquery with this file, so you have to just then double click it. So I hope everyone got it how to save the query.
It is in a database.
So it is in the desktop folders. So I have saved in desktop folder. So you can put your location whether you can save. So basically whatever I written and this editor is all this all will be saved. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in week 3, I think in subquery part we have already discussed. This is kind of a revision session, subquery. So anyone, what is subquery?
Subquery is used in place of the from clause.
Yeah,
as a inner inner what we can say SQL command.
Yeah, subquery is a query that appear inside another query.
It gives a single table. Is it so?
No, is basically subquery is a query that appear inside another query. Suppose this is outer query, then inner query. Like
no,
this.
It will give the output as a single relation. Single relation.
It will give.
Is it not, sir?
Yeah.
And it can be used. It can be used anywhere in the SQL command as a relation. Is it so?
No. This is you are talking about which clause, not subquery.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah. Then why you need subquery? So in practical database structure, data is scattered among various table or multiple table. Most query that you want to make pull data from 2 or more table. That's why you need subquery. Okay. So before that, we'll discuss about in operators. So the SQL in condition allows you to easily test if an expression matches any values in a list of values. Suppose suppose if you want to suppose you want to test this list of values matches or not. Suppose let's on example. Suppose find the student ID who have taken course ID CS101 or CS347. So we want to find the student ID who have taken course ID CS101 or CS347. So let's see the first 7. Select, start from student. So let's text.
We are using university database, no, sir?
Yeah, we are using university. So basically, you want to find out a student ID. We have taken course ID CS101 or CS347. So if you want to write, so select. You have to select student ID, right? So select ID from the text where course ID in CS101
comma CS347.
Yeah. So you can also write using OR operator, but you have to use multiple means OR operator. Suppose you have to write select ID from text where course ID equal to CS101 or course ID equal to CS347. Suppose if you want to also find CS suppose 102, then you have to also use or operator. So basically in condition it is used to help reduce the need for multiple OR condition. Okay. So now we'll move to the subquery part. So basically syntax is the select column names, then where column name, then operators, some operators, and this is the subquery, and this is the outer query. So basically the result of the subquery is used by the main query. Basically the first the subquery or inner query execute before the main query, then the result of the inner query will be used main query. So let's take one
This
example.
operator, what is this operator, sir, in the syntax?
Operators in, all, some, like this.
In,
all, some, like this. Okay, so let's take example. Suppose if you want to find the names of the student who has taken course ID CS101. So let's see the first table. Select so from the student table you will find ID, name, department name, and the total credit. And let's see the text table. So from the text table you will find ID, course ID, section ID, and the semester year. So basically if you want to find the names of the student who has taken course ID CS101. So let's write the query. Select, you find the name of the student, select name from student, where ID in, select ID from text, where course ID equal to CS101. So basically this inner operator basically find the ID of the student who have taken course CS101. So basically this inner or subquery will find the who have taken course ID CS101, and outer query it will find the name of the student where ID belongs to this. Everyone got this how subquery runs?
Means it executes inner query first, and then outer query is operated or executed, right?
Result of inner query will be used outer query.
Okay, and inner query will always be in the bracket.
Inner query will be always.
Suppose we do not put bracket, then it will work or not?
It will not work.
Okay, inner query will always be in a bracket, right? Syntax is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then some clause, then syntax is pretty simple, like select column name from table name for expression, then some subquery. So let's see one query. So suppose find the names of instructor with salary greater than that of some at least is some instructor in the history department. So if you want to find the name of instructor whose salary greater than some instructor in the history department. So let's see that table first. Select start from instructor. So you want to find the name of instructor, salary greater than that of some instructor in the history department. So let's see that. Select name from instructor.
Where?
Yeah. Instructor. Where some where greater than some select where salary from instructor where department name equal to history. history. So let's run the query. So what happened? First, this subquery will print the salary of the history department. So if you see that there are two instructors, 60,000, one instructor salary is 60,000 and another instructor salary is 62,000. Then what happened in the outer query, select name from instructor, where if salary is greater than, at least suppose if salary greater than 60,000, then it will print the name of the instructor, or 62,000. So everyone got the how sum operator work?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Means the name selected is having the salary more than 62,000.
Yeah, more than 60,000.
62, no, sir.
Sum means is if
okay.
Yeah.
Some any of that, right?
Yeah, any of that. Then all. So it's also syntax is pretty simple, like select column name from table name for expression all subquery. So yeah, let's same table history department. So find the names of all instructor whose salary is greater than the salary of all instructor in the history department. So let's run the query. So basically I'll copy the query.
In the syntax, where operator will be there, where expression, after that operator will be there.
Yeah. So
in the syntax.
In the syntax.
After expression, operator will be there, no, sir?
After we have written all, right? All is operator.
All is operator.
Yes.
Greater than, less than, or like that. This is operator or all is operator?
So yeah. Basically, syntax is pretty simple. Like select outer query, then some greater than or then all.
This is the operator, no, sir? This greater than, less than, equal to, like that. This is the operator, no?
Yeah.
Suppose equal to, put the sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then then
okay, got it.
Then inner query. So it execute first inner query. And if suppose some instructor salary greater than both the salary, suppose the highest is 62,000, so some instructor is greater than the 62,000 salary, so it will print the name of the instructor. So everyone got it? How all operator is?
Can you just have the salary also printed? It will just help to understand.
Name, comma salary. Name, comma salary.
Okay. So if you see the all salary is greater than 62,000.
Okay. And when we put less than operator, then all the salary will be less than 62,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you just do it. Yeah, less than.
Yeah. So you can see only one instructor Mozart.
Less than 62. 60 is also there, no, sir? 60 is also there. It is not 60.
No. See, we have what the question is.
Okay. Yeah, all. It is all, right.
Yeah.
If sum is there, please can you write in place of all sum?
Yeah.
Then it will come 60,000 also, no?
No, we have taken less than, only less than. So you get less than equal to, then
put sum.
It will not print, right? So if you put less than equal to, then I think it will print.
Yeah. 60. Okay, got it. 60 is also coming, na? Right. Okay,
yeah.
sir. Thank you.
Okay. Then exist operator. So please listen, remember the exist operator return true if the subquery returns one or more record. So if the subquery returns one or more records, then it returns true. Again, I am explaining exist operator. If the subquery returns one or more records, then it returns true. And the syntax is basically pretty simple, like select column names from table name where exist, then subquery. So yeah, so we'll see one example. Find the names of students who have taken at least one courses. So let's see the table first. So from student table, we'll find ID and the name, department name, and total credit. And from text table, we will find ID and the corresponding to that ID, which are the course ID taken, like 00128 CS347 course ID taken, and 12345 CS101 taken, 12345 CS10190 taken. So we have to find the names of the student who have taken at least one course. So let's write the query. So select the name from student. Student, let's take last name as where exist
subquery.
Yeah. Select ID from text where s dot id equal to t dot id. Yeah. So basically what happens, particulars, this subquery print particular s dot id, how many course id means, suppose what happens, select name from student s where exists, select id from text t where s dot id equal to t dot id. So basically if a particular student taken at least one course, then returns true. So what happened if s dot id equal to t dot id, so it will print id of the student who have taken means how many courses. So if it returns no record, then particular student does not have taken any courses. So everyone understands.
Inner query, what inner query will give, please? One.
So see, it is correlate. See, it is correlated query. So what happened? So let's stop the screen and show in pen tablet. So my screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir, visible, sir.
So what is the query? Let's see.
Sir, how did you get this table immediately printed in this paint brush or like that?
Basically, no, we have basically live session. We have 2 hours, not a 2 hours. We have
already you have prepared it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens? As suppose first s dot id. So basically pick up 00128. Then if it's matches, suppose 00128 course ID taken CS101, 00128 347. So particular student means how many, suppose, see, it will print select name from student s where exist s dot id. So pick up one by one and checks they are exist means they are s dot id equal to t dot id or not. So then after the pickup of one row, then it will pick up 1 2 3 4 5. Then it will check in this 1 2 3 4 5 equal to 1 2 3 5 or not in text table.
It will pick out all the records which
Yeah,
are
one by one.
SID. Yeah, SID is equal to TID.
Yeah. One by one. First pick up this. If it is checked, then if you return the records, then it return true. If exist operator it does not return, it returns false. So basically pick up all the records. First pick up 1 2 3 0 0 1 2 8, then 1 2 3 4 5, then 1 9 9 1, then 2 3 1 2 like this. Then it's check corresponding to it is student table and this is the text table. This is the student.
Where exist this query is used for taking all the records from the inner query or only to check the condition.
No, see again I'm explaining. So select name from student as we have realized where exist. So if it is written any row, suppose
only one row.
One or more row, then it returns true.
Okay,
right?
True.
So select name from student as where exists, select id from s.id. So that first like second 00128 s.id equal to t.id. So if it true 00y, see it is present 00128 00128. So what will it will print the id of the student, id of the 0000128. So for and it will again check, so it will print 00128 00128. So see for this 00128 it returns two records. If it returns two records, then it returns true, right? Exist, it will check only the record is present or not. It returns true record, so it is present. Then corresponding the id name will be printed.
Okay, particularly one by one it will check.
Yeah, particularly one by one will check. This is the correlated query.
Okay.
I got
that
it.
Exists, at least one exists, then it will be taken out of the from the inner to outer, right?
Yeah,
got it.
Okay. So everyone got it. Exist clause and non correlated query. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's go to the PG admin again. Okay. Then not exist operator. So not exist is completely opposite. So the not exist operator return true if the subquery return no rows. So if the subquery returns no rows, then it returns true, not exist operator. So yeah, small mistake. So let's see one query. Find the names of student who have not taken any course. So previously we'll find the names of student who have taken at least one course. Now we'll find names of student who have not taken any course. So let's read. Let's run the query. Sorry. Select anyone.
Select name from
student.
A student.
Yes.
Where not exist. Select ID from text where ID.
Yeah. This work same as not exist, but if it means if it subquery returns no rows or empty rows, then it will return true. And if it return at least means one row or more rows, it returns false. So everyone got it? Not exist operator.
Yeah. Means one snow has not taken any course, right?
Yeah, we have not taken any course. So if you see the let's see the select. Okay. select star from student. So snow where is, so snow ID is 70557. So if you see the text table,
But complete.
so you will find 70057 not there, right? If you see the right. Hello.
Okay, got it, sir, got it.
Yeah.
He has not taken, so it has.
Yeah.
Only one. That he is the only one who has not taken, right?
Yeah. He's the only one guy who has not.
Bindu, can you just go phase wise how this query will be executed? For example, select name from student where not exists.
Okay. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah.
So I mean, how it will actually execute in the system, I want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I will show you also. Let me stop sharing. My screen is visible. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened in non-exist operator? If the subquery return no rows, then it returns true, right? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
So if subquery return no rows or empty rows, it returns true. It returns at least one rows or more rows, it returns false.
What returns true or false? I mean, how does subquery?
Yeah. I will see. So see, select name from student as where not exists. So see, up to this. So I'll first let's see the from this select ID from text tree where s.id. So it will pick up one ID 00128. First pick up one ID. Hello.
Yeah.
Then it checks s.id equal to t.id or not. So 00128. If you see that 00128, it's present, right? So select ID. We have return ID. So what will print 00128. Then it also messes another 00128 00128. So it returns one or more rows, right? So it returns false or not exist. If it's false, then name will not print it.
What returns false?
Let's see. If not exist, inner query returns one or more rows, right?
Yeah, inner query returns one or more rows. It has returned two rows. It has returned 2 rows for 00128.
Yeah. So not exist will see if the returns no rows, then it returns true. Means already if you see it returns 2 rows. Means more.
So not exist, the word not exist will return false in this case, right?
Yeah. It returns false. If it returns false, then it will not print the name of the particular student.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Then if you see 0070057, so text.
Okay, so got it. So Bindu got it. You can continue. Fine.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So if you see 7000557 snow, it does not message t.id. right? So it returns no means it returns empty rows or no rows, right?
Yeah.
So not exist
Not
operator
exist will be true.
true. Yeah, then
That is where name will be printed.
yeah. So you got it? Everyone got it? So this is a correlated query.
Correlated, what does it mean with the correlated?
So correlated means its outer query and inner query means depends, right?
Okay, okay,
If
okay.
Then we'll see with clause. So with clause. So with clause is used for defining temporary relation is available and used by the query that is associated with the with clause. So it is used for defining temporary relation, and that temporary relation will be used for that query. So let's see one query. So find all the departments where the total salary is greater than the average of the total salary at all departments. So sorry, the sum of salary.
Total salary at all departments means or of all?
So yeah. So let's see the query. I'll break through the one by ones. How's this? Yeah. So let's. So yeah, my screen is visible. Hello.
Yeah, visible.
Yeah, my screen paint. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I will how with clauses work, and I will break this every it's a small details. So what happens with department total? So we have created temporary relation department total, and the attribute name is department name and the value. So attribute name is department name and the value. So what will temporary relation will contain? So at this inner query part will contain temporary whatever we define. So select department name. So with the department name, sorry, some salary will contain as value temporary relation. So from instructor group by department name. So department total contains department name and the value, and we have grouped according to the department name and the sum of salary. Their salary means particular departments some salary will contain as a value. So this is the department total table. So everyone got it? What will contain department total up to this? Hello.
First, it will group by department name, and then it will take average salary of individual departments, right?
Yeah, some salary of individual department. You've taken some.
Yeah, some salary of the individual.
Yeah. So department total will contain department name and the value. So department name and the value contains some of their every department salary. So this is the every department. So up to this, it is clear. Means one temporary
What will be
relation.
the result with? What will be the result with?
Yeah.
Department total.
Yeah, department total. Yeah, this is the department total temporary table. This table will contain this.
Okay.
This is the temporary table, and this table will contain this subquery part.
Okay.
So up to this, clear?
Without selecting the from clause, it is having with to department table.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the basis of the inner selection.
Yeah. So see, we have defined one temporary relation department total, and what will contain this department total, this inner query part. So we have taken
Then
select department.
what is the difference between the view and this?
So view are different things. So this is
we can replace this with or with view also. Same result will come, na?
Yeah. So see, for bigger queries, sometimes we require with clause for defining temporary relation. So that's why view are different things.
Okay.
Subhendu, I would like to add something. You can see here, this is the temporary relation, right? So this is these things. Hello. This table inside the with the SQL statement that is stored for the temporary for this particular. This is not stored, right? This is temporary stored for particular this query only. But in the view, you can store the SQL expression in the view and use it again and again. You got the
Yeah. Perhaps I think he is telling right. It is for particularly for this with group by.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
So then we have taken another temporary relation, and the name is department total average. It will contain value as one columns, and what will contain select average value from department total. So it will average of this value.
All this, yeah, that is okay.
Yeah. So it will contain. This is the table department total average. Up to this is clear.
Yeah. Fine.
Then what we have select department name. So we have select department from department total and the department total average from the department total average. What department total dot value greater than department total dot average value. So let's see one by one. So yeah. So department total dot value 17,000 is greater than the this value.
1,70,000.
Yeah, 1,70,000 is greater than this value.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will printed. So finance will be printed. Then 1,22,000 is greater than the this value.
No.
So this will not printed. 1,80,000
three values will be printed, right?
1,82,000 is greater than.
Yeah.
Then physics will be printed. Then 40,000 is greater than this value. Not right.
No.
Then not printed. This is I think greater than. So computer science will be printed. This is not greater than, and this is not greater. So 3 will be printed. Let's run the query. So
your screen gone.
Yeah. I'm sad.
Okay.
So you will. So 3 will be printed. So everyone got how with clause work, right? Hello.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. So if you have any doubt regarding subquery or any other things, we can tell us.
Yes, Subhendu, someone asked about the functions and procedure. Right? We can take this.
Yes, sir.
About
Yeah.
function and procedure.
Yes, yes. So yeah, Pradeep, can you take?
How much more time?
Yeah.
It's just we're discussing these function procedures. Just one doubt. Like this function procedure and triggers, we are only focusing on the conceptual part of this in this course. Like SQL part, we are not focusing on that. Like in the lecture also you can see. But if you want us to just demonstrate like how to create function and how to get procedure, that we can do. Any conceptual doubt is there, you can ask. Like someone asked earlier, right? He's there. Okay. Okay, anyone can tell me what is the difference between function and procedure and triggers? It will take like 15 to 20 minutes.
Hello. Am I audible, right?
Yeah, audible.
Yeah. So can anyone tell what is the function? Right. So in the simple terms, the function is the ordered set of SQL statements that are used for perform some particular task, right? And this is basically used by the developer, and if you want to develop something or write function, right, a set of SQL statement you want to use again and again, then we use the function, right? So first part come to there is a difference between function and the procedure is in the syntax, right? So in the function only takes the parameter and it return value, right? Okay.
It returns a single value, or multiple value can also be returned?
Yeah, multiple value can also return. So you know about the one slide is given the table value. A table function is there.
Yeah. Table value is also a function, right?
So there is only the syntax difference is one, only the first difference is the syntax difference in the syntax, right? So in the create tables you can see everyone let me write in the create function name, right?
Name of the function.
Name of the function and the parameter, right?
Parameter in the bracket.
What is the data type also. Similarly, you can define another function, and after that, just returns the whatever's the return data types. So suppose integer as given in the slide, integer, suppose any data type, and after that, as if you the basic syntax is the whatever's given in the slide, that is the generic syntax, right? So it is you can, so for the suppose the MySQL is for the slight difference between the syntax and the Postgre also, right? So we stick to the what is the generic statement syntax. So begin, then the declare any variable type you want to declare, and the data type, right? And there is the SQL statement. And right, this is the basic syntax for and here also the return, the variable one, suppose you want to return that things. So this is the syntax of the function. So here you can see we take the parameters and return some value, but in case of the procedure, that is the difference. So in the procedure, we take here the create procedure name, right? And in data type, suppose if you want some valued data varchar or the parameter want to take as the data type and the out. So here we return these things in using the function, but here we assign to the this out variable too, only whatever's the value we want to return. So that we assign to this particular value, whatever's the present in the out. You got the difference between what is the difference in this two syntax. So this is the main difference. Yeah.
Here in the function, where one variable one means only one return value will be there. What is the meaning of where one variable
where
one?
one means value return, its value return something you want
Means
to return.
The function will return only one value.
Yeah, this is the syntax for one value. So
then type, because we have defined the return integer, means the variable one will be integer. Is it so?
Yeah. So this varchar is the integer type.
The single valued, it is a single valued function.
Yeah. Single. The function returns the single value. Yeah.
Okay. And
So,
here in and out, variable one is the input.
A variable one is the input. Suppose this parameter one is the input in the function. So here you can take
And out variable two. So where it will take? From where?
From where you mean?
Means
so
where
you
the
can
input
write
will
this
be
thing. You can write this thing, this function in the PG admin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Create procedure.
Yeah. I think future will show you. So I just go through the theory part. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Pradeep, I can directly show it on PG admin, right? It will be better.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, so is my screen is visible, right? Yeah. So the simple syntax for creating function is create or replace function. Okay, I will create one function for the summation of two numbers. Okay, so create or replace function, anything you can use, and you can use the function name, any function name. So I will use f_sum, and I am writing the function for summation of two numbers. Okay, so both the number will be integer, right? So I have to mention the data type of those particular variable, that is int. Okay, now what it will return? So basically sum of two integers, what it will return? Basically it will be integer only, right? So what this function is going to return, you have to mention is data type here after returns. Okay, so in this case it is int. You can also if this function is we have created this function for some update command, right? So it will not return anything. So simply you can use, instead of int, you can use void here, right? Or if you are creating this function to use with the triggers, you can use trigger here, right? So it's based on the function and the purpose for which we are creating this function. Okay, so simply I am creating this function for the summation of two numbers, so it will return the integer.
Sir, did not get it. This trigger and void. Please explain once more.
No. So returns means the data type of this function, right? What it is going to return. Say suppose I am creating this function for sum of two numbers, right? So that will be an integer, right? So I have to mention integer here, int, data type of that particular thing.
Okay.
suppose I am sorry, creating this function for updating table in update command, right? So it will not return anything, right? It will simply update the table. So in that case, I can use void, void, void. Okay.
So void means we do not need to specify that type of the character.
Yes.
Okay.
But now we are creating the function for summation of two numbers. So simply I will write integer here, int, and then as.
And what is the case of the trigger?
In the case of trigger, you can simply use trigger here. Returns trigger.
Okay. Yeah. It will trigger there, right? Where event is there, right?
Right. Yeah. So create or replace function. Then just you mentioned the data type of those two things, variable. Then returns integer as. Then in the Postgres, you have to for writing any SQL statement, you have to first start with this $$ signature. Okay, this our statement is started here. So whatever we are writing the function for which purpose, you have to write those SQL command here inside this $$. Right? You can also write anything here like body or anything, but this $$ symbol must be there. Okay. Yeah. So simply how to do the summation of two numbers in SQL? I can simply select 1 plus 2. It will give me 3, right? If I just run this, it will give me 3, right? But I want to take the input from the function. So what I will do? I will do select $1 is used to take the input. $1 that is first integer plus $2 that is second integer. Okay, and now this simple statement I have written. Now what is the language of this particular statement? That is SQL, right? So simply I
$1 is the sign $1 first.
For taking the input of any integer, we can assign $1.
Okay.
So simply language SQL, right? Now if I just simply create this function, let's see. Yeah, the function has been created. Now if I want to view this function, like I want to call this function, simple I can use select statement. For function we use select, and for procedure we use call. Okay, remember this thing difference. For function we use select, like select this function name f_sum and just the two numbers, say 2, 5, 2, 4. So it will, if I run this, I will get 6, right? This is a simple SQL function that we have written for the summation of two numbers. That's it. Now, yeah. Now I will simply again create one function.
What does this body means, sir?
Body. What are the SQL statement? Like for which purpose you are creating this function? That thing, that logic should be there. Like say for trigger, you are creating trigger.
This is in the syntax.
Yeah, this is in syntax. Like body should be there. Like not body, just have written body. Just $$ symbol must be there. This is necessary. These two things. You have to start with this $$ symbol. And you have to end this thing. Between this, you have to write your logic. Whether it may be SQL thing or any other logic.
But something given in the lectures are SQL functions with the begin and end.
Yes, that thing we can also use, begin and end. That is used for the transaction purpose. Okay, let's see one more function. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will create one function, create or replace. Okay, let's see. First, I have to create one table here. So create table, say mark sheet.
What do you mean by create and replace? Create function and another is replace function. We can use only one or both.
No. We can use only one function, only one thing. Like
at a time, you have to use only one, no?
Yeah, we can use both the thing also, because if already this function has been created, then we can use replace thing to just replace that particular function. If you want to update anything here, say instead of plus minus, then you can simply use replace function.
Okay.
If you want to change the logic, yeah. For creating function, you can simply use create function, or if you want to replace the existing function or want to modify.
First time, if you create first time, then it will be used create only.
Create only, yeah.
Okay. And then if it is already existing fsum, then we will have to replace only, not create.
Not create, yeah.
Okay. At a time, only one will be used.
Yeah. So if you use create or replace, anyway or is there, so it will do it, right?
Yeah. Okay, fine, got it.
I will create one function now, and then I will I will create a trigger for that also, right? So with the help of trigger, we'll try to execute that function. So for that, I will creating one table, say mark sheet, having attribute. What should I put? Okay, say student ID is there, then name is there. Okay. It is varchar SID varchar, then name varchar, say 10, and say marks int, and say result. Okay, that is varchar. So I am simply creating one table having 4 attributes: SID, name, marks, and result. Okay, so the table has been created, right? Now I will create one function. Yeah, so I will create one function. Create function. Say update marks. So it will not return anything. We are simply creating this function for the trigger, right? So create function, then function name, and then return trigger. It returns trigger, right? As then $$ symbol. We have to write our logic inside this symbol $$. Okay. Now in the lecture you are seeing begin, right? So if you are using our logic like or simply like other than this SQL thing, if you are using anything, we have to begin stated. Begin is for particular transaction. So the transaction part we will see, but begin and end, like begin means from this particular point, our particular logic or statement will start till end. So begin and then end also, right? So end is also there. So between this, we have to write our logic. So what is the logic here? Like for creating this thing. So I will simply create for that. You should know what is the trigger first, right? Okay, so I need to explain the trigger also before that. Yeah. Okay, how many of you watched the trigger tutorial?
Yes, sir. We have gone through that, but this syntax is varying from the lecture because this $sign and as has not been, I think, mentioned there. So we are confusing.
Yes, sir. So that thing is for
as $ has not been used in the syntax.
Yeah.
So what does it mean exactly?
No, for PostgreSQL you have to use this thing, right?
So for PostgreSQL you have to use as and $, right?
And $sign, yeah. It is the syntax for PostgreSQL.
Okay. For the different language, different syntax is there. Is it
for different? No, not for different language. Different database system, different syntax is there. Like for MySQL, different thing is there. For Oracle, maybe different. And for Postgres, maybe different thing. Right?
Okay, then what answer we will give in the theoretical part, sir?
The theoretical part, we are only focusing on the conceptual part, like as I mentioned earlier in this course.
Okay, Okay.
So you have asked this question, that's why we are going for this SQL thing, right?
Okay, SQL.
Yeah, so I'm creating one function here. Yeah, I'm creating one function for a table, say mark sheet. Like whenever I updating or inserting the record in this mark sheet, if the marks is greater than 40, then result will be passed. If the marks is less than 40, the result will be failed. Okay. So for that, I want to create a function, and that function will be automatically triggered whenever we insert this one statement in the mark sheet. Okay. So say suppose if I insert a record in the mark sheet, say name, say Piyush, having marks less than say 40, say 39. Okay. So result will automatically declare as a fail. So that thing we are going to do using trigger here. Okay. So what is the logic behind that? Like say suppose if now whenever we inserting any particular record in the mark sheet, that will be a new record, right? So if new dot marks greater than 40, then simply what we have to do, new dot result equal to pass, right? This is the here we have to put semicolon, then else. And what we have to do, else if this new marks is not less than 40, else new dot result will be fail, right? New dot result equal to
fail.
Fail, yeah. This you got the logic, right? Whenever I'm inserting any statement in this table having marks and name, so if the marks is less than 40, so it will result in the fail. If the marks is greater than 40, it will result in pass. Even if you while inserting the statement, even if you mention marks is less than 40 and still result is pass, still what trigger will automatically change it to fail. Okay, so that we will see now how it will do, right?
From where this new came, sir? New has
means whenever I am creating this function, whenever I am inserting any particular record in the mark sheet, so that record will be new, right? If I want to create this function or trigger for update command, then there will be two things. First one is the old value, like before update, and then another one that is after update, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's thing. So yeah, if
and these records will be put in the table.
Yeah. Yeah. So else end if, right, we have to end if, and then we are simply ending this, right? Particular thing. Yeah. So let me see the logic. New is less than 50, and other is less than, yeah. So return new in language SQL, right? So yeah, and the language what we have used, that is, so before we have just used SQL here, because in the statement we have used SQL query, but here this if else is not an SQL query, right? It is a logic, it is a procedural, right? So here we can use PL, PG, SQL. In the lecture you have seen this procedural PG SQL, right? Procedural language SQL.
I did not get this language part, sir. Language.
Like in the statement, if we are only using the SQL thing, like here I have used select or just update or anything insert command other than SQL, so you can use language SQL. But here in the statement, I have used this if, then log, else, right? This is not a SQL thing, right?
Okay, this
is a programming logic. Yeah.
Okay, this taglines if else are not included in the SQL.
Yeah, you can use any logic here, programming logic. So for that, you have to use PLPG SQL.
What is the full form of this PLPG?
Procedural language PostgreSQL.
Okay, procedural language PostgreSQL.
Yeah, I will try to create. Let's see what happens. The
Just
function has been created now. Okay. Now I will create one trigger here. So create trigger. What is the syntax for creating trigger? Create trigger. Then you have to mention the trigger name. Okay. I will simply mention trigger name. Then basically what you have to do, you have to say before or after operation of event. Before means say before updating. If I want to create a trigger for update command, so before there will be one value, and after updating command there will be one value, right? So before means old value, right? Before updating, it is old value, and once you update that particular value, so it will return us the new value, right? So I am creating this trigger for a insert statement. Like whenever I am inserting any record in this particular table mark sheet, this trigger should get triggered, and whenever the marks is less than 40 or greater than 40, based on this condition, it should update the result, right? So that is the logic behind it. Right, so I'm simply creating one table now. So create trigger, say update underscore update. So say T update, anything, okay? Any name you can do. T name. Now opening up event before or after, right? So before and insert command, because I want to create this trigger for the insert command, right? So before inserting command, like on what table, right? So before insert on, so on is table name here. So on is table name. So table name is mark sheet, right? Then for each row for registered for each row. Yeah, so there are two types of trigger, row level trigger and statement level trigger. So that you have to specify here, like for which type of trigger we are doing this, right? So for each row, so whenever you're inserting this one row in the mark sheet, we are going to trigger this, right? For each row, then execute procedure. What is the function here? This one, right? Update. Let me see. Okay, this is trigger before insert on mark sheet. For each row, execute procedure update marks. Okay. So let's try to create. Okay, great. So trigger has been created. Now, what if I want to insert this record? Insert into mark sheet values. All right. So what are the values? Let's say SIDB S001. Then say again Piyush. Say marks is 45. Now, even if I mention result is failed here, let's see what will happen. Insert into mark sheet. To reach end of a trigger procedure without return. Okay, context PL, PG, SQL. Okay, so here we have done the syntactical error because we have not written anything. So return new. Because new value we have to return, right? This thing. So let's again create. Now here I have to use replace, right? Because you already create that function. Create function. Now try to do this part. Yeah, insert 0. Now let's see the table. Let's start from mark sheet. Here you can see I have inserted the record by fail name, but automatically this function get executed. It checks the logic and it updated the result to pass, right? So that's what trigger has doing here. Like trigger has executed this particular function. Even if I mention 32 and say pass here, now when I try to see the record, it will show fail because this function has been executed, right? Based on this logic. So
first insert will be executed, then function will be executed.
Yeah, here we have said the trigger before insert command, right? So it will check whether this insert is satisfying this logic or not. If not, then it will update this particular record.
Without executing this begin and end block. Without executing this begin and end block, this insert will not happen, right?
No. First, we are trying to insert, right? So whenever we are creating, doing insert command, this trigger will get activated. It will check whether this, like for before event, the trigger, and then it will simply execute this particular function, update.marks. Right.
Now, how this insert command will know that trigger should be activated?
We have defined the trigger for that purpose only, na, for insert.
Before insert.
Yeah.
Once it is this trigger has been given in that command, that SQL query, then it will any insert when we do on the mark sheet, it will create trigger. Is it?
Yeah, it will trigger that particular thing, even if you insert in anything. It will check this logic.
For mark sheet. Yeah. For mark sheet only. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Thank you.
It is little more advanced concept. If we go into deep into it, will take around 10-15 hours, which is a long time. So for procedure, you can do like procedure will not return anything. Like function, we can return integer or like anything, but procedure will simply execute it. It will not return anything. That's the difference between procedure and simply we can call the procedure, right? And the difference is that in the function, we cannot execute any transaction, but in procedure, I think we can do that.
So
you can just go through the slide.
Where procedure will be used?
For like Transaction generally use the procedure like that we are going to learn in the next, like in the week 8 or 9 transaction part.
Okay.
But yeah, this Postgres 10 version 10 will not support the procedure. If you are trying, you can check for version 12. You can execute that procedure in version 12. Yeah. Okay, that's it. You can just go through the slide for this function, procedures, and triggers. That will be enough.
Okay.
Okay, that's it from this.
For this course, it is enough to know.
Yeah. For this course, just go through the slide and
Okay.
just watch the tutorial of trigger. That will be.
Yeah.
Because it is more advanced concept. If I go deep into it, will take 10-15 hours.
Okay.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you very much. So nice. It was a very nice session, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Because without taking this practice, we are not able to understand.
So today we have covered week 2 and week 3. Yeah, so that's it. Tomorrow we are going to release the revision slides, and yeah, you can go through the revision slide. So that will be more than enough for the quiz.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you everyone. Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night.